Hi, welcome to Medicine Crow Tarot. This is going to be the love energy reading for Cancer, Sun, Moon, Rising, and Venus for the month of September. This is a general reading. It may not resonate with everyone the same. If that's the case, just take what does resonate, leave the rest. And this reading is not for established couples. This reading is for, people who are working towards that on some level. If you have someone in mind, or if you've started dating someone, this is going to be just kind of a peek into their space. Let's start with the head space. The idea behind this is to kind of get some guidance on, to know where they're coming from and how to operate with them. So Cancer, looks like the person you're thinking about, that's the Sun card. So on one hand, that's a very positive card to have in a reading. In the head space, it would indicate optimism, and perhaps optimism mixed with ego. Maybe not ego in a bad sense of the word ego, but just maybe they're very concerned about themselves right now. And that could be in a selfish way, or it could be in a self-conscious way where they're trying to, where they're trying to figure out from their own point of view, the best way to be going forward. That kind of a self-conscious type situation. But let's get a couple clarifiers, or I'll try to pull a clarifier card. Will help kind of show the direction of that Sun card energy. Okay. And it looks like the clarifying cards are the Queen of Cups and the Four of Cups. So, the Queen of Cups represents a female, and the Queen of Cups is kind of like a mature emotional energy. It represents intuition, and making those choices that will resonate with a solid emotional energy. But with the Four of Cups there, that Four of Cups is kind of like, it's kind of like looking at the wrong thing, though. And it's funny because it almost looks like this guy's got a billion arms, and then there's this girl hanging on him. But those aren't arms, they're like flower wings or something. It's really interesting, but it's basically this idea that I feel like this person is really trying to come from the right place, but they're looking at the situation all wrong. The Four of Cups typically is like boredom or disappointment, but it almost always has the person, looking away from one of the cups that's being offered. In this case, he's looking at all the cups, but he's got his arms up and the girl's there, and it just strikes me, the energy is, he's super optimistic, but he's just looking at, I can't tell if the Sun's a boy or girl, but this person is looking at the situation, trying to do it right, but looking at it wrong, if that makes sense. Also, it could be that this person is looking at the Queen, if you're the female, looking at the Queen and seeing disappointment, and that's kind of fueling why this person is really focused on themselves, trying to say, well, how can I be the best me in this situation, or how can I get the best out of this situation? It's a very positive energy. It's just there's a little bit of wobbling going on here, if that makes sense. All right, let's look at the heart energy now. And I actually had 2 cards jump, so I'm taking them both. The first one that came up is the 6 of Cups, and this energy represents mindful step taking over time. You can see even the process going on here. It's like the first one is planting the seed, the second one is watering, the third one it sprouts, the fourth one it begins to bud with flowers, and the next one is the flowers are starting to open, and then finally the thing you want, which is the blooming, the blossom is what pops up. So that's like it's showing a balanced approach for something to grow over time. So it's kind of a card representing patience, I would say. I know in a lot of decks the 6 of Cups represents like issues of childhood or children or things like that. In this case, growth is what's being called upon, and I think that there is past energies involved in it for sure. We also have the heart space being the Emperor card, which is a very masculine energy, a very no nonsense, stern but fair energy. And so I feel like when you have the Sun card in the mind and you've got this balanced energy with the Emperor, it means that this person has got a sheer determination to see this through correctly. Okay, let's see if there's a clarifier here that will help shed any more light on this particular subject. And it looks like we got a couple. Okay, it looks like we've got the 6 of Swords, the 6 of Pentacles, and we've got the Queen of Swords going on right here. And what I would say that means is that, again, balance. We've got 3 sixes going on right here. I don't have it on the tip of my tongue. That's got to be pretty significant in terms of the symbolism of sixes, and I'm trying to remember what is a 6 symbolic of besides balanced energy. There's a movement energy associated with, and I can't remember what it is. At any rate, I don't want to get distracted by that. That's something to look up. Maybe Google the importance of 3 sixes. 666. At any rate, the 6 of Swords is there's been a difficulty, and it's movement forward from the difficulty. The 6 of Pentacles is a equal give and take in a relationship. And then the Queen of Swords is kind of like, you've got the Queen of Cups over on this side, which is like the emotional maturity. Over here, it's like emotional decisiveness, if that makes sense. So it's kind of like the Emperor, but with more softness to it, I guess you could say. And so he wants to, the Emperor wants to, he wants to do the right thing. He's determined to do the right thing, but he really wants to do it in a balanced way. And it's being fueled by the need to restore the balance of, I want to say, some energy he connected to or something, because with this past energy being here, and then because that often represents like childhood type issues, but it's like this measured progress out of something painful. So this is painful past, this is potentially painful past, and this is balanced expression, and this is maturity and balanced as well. It's part intuition and part knowing. It's air energy mixed with water, and they're both forward looking to the future. So it just shows me that this person who we're dealing with is trying to be very optimistic, maybe bumbling a bit, but determined to act the correct way. Okay, so let's look at how this energy is going to end up manifesting externally. And it looks like right here we've got the Seven of Wands. So a lot of times the Seven of Wands is like standing up for yourself, doing the thing that you know is the right thing to do. It's confronting someone. So it's possible that in this situation there's some, let me think, there's a reason for this person to feel like they want to stand up for what they are doing, what they think is right. It's really quite an interesting mixture, actually. This determination, this optimism. I mean, I feel like this person, you've got like 3 hearts here even. And fire, there's just so much imagery and passion, and it's confrontation. I mean, the imagery of this card, it's just like, it's almost like in protection of the passion. This person is determined to stand up for what they think is right. I feel like that's kind of what that card is saying. Maybe they feel under attack for the connection. Whatever it is, their actions externally are going to be standing up for what they think is the right thing to do. Okay, we have some clarifiers jump out. First we had the King of Pentacles pop out. We had the Four of Cups, and we had the Eight of Swords pop out. Okay, so the King of Pentacles is someone who's really well grounded, just a balanced, abundant person. The Four of Pentacles is kind of like a withholding energy, and the Eight of Swords is an energy of mental, like, paralysis, but not because something can't be. It's just because the person can't figure it out. It's like a puzzle that they can't figure out. And so in this case, I feel like this person is maybe unsure how to, well, this is really tricky energy. This person, I feel like they want to manifest groundedly, and that's why they're trying to do it, and they're determined to do it, but they're struggling to do it. And part of it is because they just don't know how. They can't figure out the puzzle. And so instead of doing the wrong thing with the Four of Pentacles energy, they're not doing anything. They're just literally withholding. And you can see he's holding that scale and the balance. He's like literally trying to figure this out, trying to work it out, and just doesn't know what to do. And then this card jumped out, Queen of Wands. Queen of Wands is it's a passionate energy, but it's a reliable passion. So I feel like it mirrors kind of the Emperor, this person standing up for themselves, but they're doing it with the best of intentions. They really are trying to be reliable. So this reading is kind of longer than I expected, and I don't want to drag it out too much. So let's get an advice card for the situation to see what is the best, what's the most important energy to be aware of going forward. And we get the angel of soul love. Time to look at how you value yourself. Issues of self-love. So what I'm getting from this is, anytime you have, like, obviously this is an important connection, but it has a lot to do with connection with self. And so it's possible that this person understands the importance of the connection and the direction to go forward, but is unable to figure out what to do, because what to do is love self. So this isn't a problem that can be solved by how do you act differently externally. It's a problem of how it can be solved by nurturing self-love. And since this is the advice card for you, then Cancer, it looks like self-love is your key to moving forward with this person in this situation. Okay, well, that's all I have time for, so thank you for joining Medicine Crow Tarot. Feel free to leave a like, subscribe, or a comment, or share if you feel so, and I will see you next time.